she's got me putting on another strand. She said the tree grew about a foot last year and the top doesn't have anything on it. I have a Christmas tree all year out here, folks. It's a solar tree, and she said it grew a foot, so I have to put some on the top. It looks funny at night. All right. I'll show you what it looks like tonight. That's 4 strands of different type of solar LEDs. They got little solar panels. They sit at the base of the tree. All year we have a Christmas tree. Every night it lights up. And now I'm sure the neighbors or people that can see through the woods with no leaves, they can see a little tree lit up here. But I'll show you tonight. All right, so far we've been here for like an hour, and Brittany and I did a couple things today. We put the new exhaust on the Predator, and we picked the panels off the ground, because basically when it snows, it really snows in Vermont. It's gonna have 3 feet of snow covering them. So we brought the picnic table over here, we popped it on there. Next year I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put these particular panels. I'm not sure. I might end up putting them over there. I'm so new at this solar thing, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. When I get my real panels for the big system, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those. I really don't want to put them on the top of the roof just because snow, if they cover them, I don't know how I will get up there to clear them. Also, the porch roof, I don't want to put them there because snow, and then when the main roof lets go, they'll probably take all my panels out with it. I could put it on the front of the porch, it doesn't get that much snow, and sit them up, but I don't think that would be the best for the sunlight. The sun comes up over here and works its way around, so it will get some sun. That might be an option, but then again, look ugly on the front of my cabin, a bunch of solar panels. So I'm not sure what would be ideal. What I think that gets the most sun is over here by the garden. It gets a lot of sun throughout the day, and I might figure out how to run, but that'll be a lot of wire. I'll think of something, but we're knocking them out today. I gotta get in and do the installation. I'm gonna try to put the a temporary window blockage in here before the snow really starts to fly. One problem I did have is my truck. I don't trust it to bring it up here. I don't want to be caught on the side of the road like I was last time. So I might borrow Pops' truck because he's in hibernation now. He don't come out there in the winter. But the installation, I didn't know the size because I don't know what I did with the measurements. And I didn't want to cut it until I knew the size, and it wouldn't fit in my car. So I might actually make the frame and everything while I'm up here, and then cut it at home, bring it up, and attach it next time I come up, which will probably be next weekend, but we'll see. All right, here's Justice. She's got her jacket on. All right, I'm starting to put up my little rip down 2x3s to have a little pocket to put my insulation. Had some one say, why don't you just get the foam insulation? I don't want the foam insulation. I guess that would fit in this little pocket here. The problem is when I bring the pine up, I don't know if there's a way or not. When you put another piece of pine on top here, there's nothing to keep it flush. There's nothing. What are you going to do? Put pine here and then have a shelf? I want the pine to go straight up. So the only thing I could think of to allow that is rip little 2x3s and put them in like studs and make it flush with the sill and the bottom wall. So now I could continue my pine straight up to the peak. And you know, if without these 2x3s, you can see the difference. There's a 3-inch, 2.5-inch difference here. Actually, 2 7/8 difference when it would be tongue and groove. So that will be a problem if I don't put this on here. And now it'll go straight up, just like if there's actual studs. I got R13 in all the walls, so I'll just put R13 into this wall, and it fits nice right into the pocket, and it'll insulate. And I bet you this year is going to be a lot warmer. Next year, if I got time, I might get underneath the cabin and definitely probably try to skirt the cabin. Maybe sometime I was thinking about spray foaming underneath, but first I want to skirt it and see what happens and really test that bubble foil out, and we'll go from there. But here, I'll let you watch me do this. All right, shut it off. All right, just finished up in the loft. Jennifer's down there vacuuming, and the insulation is finished up here. You can see all the way down the other end. For some reason I was a little short. I had enough in a little extra when I did it across the way, but here I was about a piece and a half short. I think some of the paper was like crinkled, so when they were cutting it a little bit longer than needed. But I had a roll up in the attic here. Good thing I did. I should work safety glasses and probably a mask. But got it done. All right, on to the next. All right, I'm on to the next. I'm out here looking at this window. I don't want to leave the window open all winter. Snow's going to get in there. What I'm going to do, this is my plan. I didn't know the window size because I lost the measurements I wrote down. So I brought up some strapping. What I want to do is go ahead and put the strapping as a frame, and then I'll put 2 pieces of strapping like this, and then I'm going to put the pink insulation on the inside, which I'll probably paint, and it's only an inch. This is like 2 1/4 or something like that. I'll probably maybe put actually 2 pieces in. I'm not sure, but I have some silver bubble foil. I'll put bubble foil on one side, I'll staple it on, and that should prevent weather from getting in. And my idea is to just put some strong magnets on there to be able to take it off and on, and we'll see if it works. But that's my goal for today. I wish the pink insulation, actually styrofoam insulation, fit in the car, because I would have brought it up and would have completed this project. And I didn't bring the correct size screws. So I'm gonna see what I could do for today and get something completed for protection. Right, this is what I got done so far. Let me have you take a look. So I framed out the window. Problem is, the window is not super square. If you are a subscriber, you know I had some problems with this beam right here. The beam here is twisted. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have replaced that or fixed it, or just took my time with it. But you know, I wanted to get this kitchen up within like 3 weeks, and I did accomplish that. Besides, you know, the detail stuff, the pine and stuff, like the structure was up in within like 2-3 weekends. But maybe it was like the last 2x4. I have no idea. But I framed that wall with a twisted stud, and I wish I didn't, because it kind of affected everything on the front, the door, the window. So if you have, when you're building, you have issues like that, take your time. So I tried to build this to specs, and it fits in there. It's tight in one area, and it's a pain in the ass. But what's going to happen, folks, is I'm going to get that 1-inch board. I have it at home. I'm gonna cut it to size. I'm gonna slip it in the back here. I might double it up. I have another sheet too, and then I'm going to put the bubble foil on the back. I'm gonna do that now because I have nothing else to close it in with. So I'm gonna just do that for now. I'll eventually paint it brown, and this is basically what you'll see. You'll see probably the pink styrofoam insulation board, but I'll paint that brown, and then this will be brown, and it'll just be a brown insert. Now, how am I keeping this insert in? I think I may put some trim on the inside here, just so when I push it in, it won't ever go in all the way. And as you can see, I thought of this. I thought it would be cool because even in the summer, we could put it up if we, whatever, if we're gonna have a storm or something. And these are magnets. I have them seated inside. I have magnets, and they're like really strong magnets. And this is, I got 3 more here. So I sunk them in, I countersunk them. So I'll show you how I'll install it. Basically, the screws I'm using, of course, are not the screws I wanted to use, because they don't sit super flush with the magnet, and I don't want to put stress on the magnet because they will break. So basically, the screws that I wanted to use, let me put this down for a second. So the screws that I wanted to use were too small, because the spade bit puts a hole, a deep hole there, and the smaller screws I was going to use do not work. So basically, this is perfect. It's perfect centered. I'll just drive that in. I don't know if you're going to see it. I'm going to put it this way. I don't know if you'll see that, but it's perfectly centered. All I gotta do is screw it in, and there it goes. Now you don't want to torque it too much, because you'll end up breaking the magnet. This magnet's not sitting totally flush. I might take it out and do another quick spin with the bit, and then it'll sit flush. Everything else is flush. Now what I'm gonna do to the frame is I'm gonna measure it, mark the spots, and then I'm gonna put countersink some washers in there, and then I'll show you how it works. So that's what we got going on. Here's my washers, and they're in the same spots as my magnets, and I'm gonna go ahead and try it, see if my idea worked. Then I'm gonna just staple some foil to it for now until I get the insulation in. you could probably put anything on it. You could put plastic on it. It doesn't matter as long as it stops the snow in the rain. The magnets are working. It's not holding like I thought. The reason is you could see that it's not square. So there's a gap. It's not sitting on the magnets like I hoped it would. I don't know. What a pain. Because that was a good idea. Those are some strong magnets. But still, look. I mean, I could feel them grabbing. But this one's too far away. You can see the magnet's not even touching. Because the board, you know. Another problem is I went with some cheap material just to frame this out. I mean, these are like $2 strappings. And they're all twisted and warped. And I always got next year. Next year I'll make something a little bit better, and maybe the magnets will work. I think the magnets are fine. It's pretty cool how I like the idea of it, and I'll get it to work. Just I don't think it's going to work. It's working, but it's not working like it's intended to because the wood's warped and it's sitting too far away from. And I'm not going to spend the winter on this project. So far, I got something to protect this. I'm gonna put the bubble foil on there. I will just staple it on, overlap them, make sure rain don't get in, and then yeah, we'll call this project done for this year. And next year I'll revisit it probably in the summer, make something nicer, maybe some bifold blind. I don't know. Give me some ideas, put them below. But I still like this idea because I like it opened. And I just like to pull out the window, hang it up. I don't want hinges and, you know, a big piece of plywood above our head if it fell. I see a lot of people do that. I don't want to like have a big heavy piece of plywood I got to store somewhere. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to prop it up on chains and stuff. That's why I have the shutters. But I'll figure something out. All right. Let me clean this up. Let me put the bubble foil on, and I'll show you the end result for now. All right, so I put on the bubble foil. As you can see, it's getting dark. It gets dark so early. I got so much other stuff I want to do, but I'm gonna pack up my tools. I can see the Christmas tree. I put up the lights before, but those lights aren't on. But it looks like there's 2 strands on. I don't know if you could see it. I'll come out later. The ones I did were up top there. Maybe it's not dark enough for those lights to kick on. Let me stand over them now. Or maybe the battery didn't charge enough because it's only been, you know, 4 hours. So it's like sheathing. The rain will go down. I'll probably put some more nails on the bottom. I'll probably do that now. Everything what it was. I'll put some staples across the bottom. Forgot to do that. For now, until I get something better, it'll probably look like this. So I do have the styrofoam. I want to use it. I'll probably just bring it up next time. So let's take a look inside. You can see there's some leaves. Jen was in here cleaning up already. But yeah, there's some leaves. Well, wow, feels different in here with that. One thing I can do if this thing starts really bothering me, how it's, you know, I want to put a little piece of trim on both sides to prevent it from coming in. It would never be able to blow in, but it could kick out, and I'll find it half open when I come up next time. All I would have to do actually is put, you know, 4 screws in for the winter, and it'll be fine. But I actually like it. Going, take a look. Looks like all the lights are lit. Looks like we need another one on the bottom here. It's kind of weak. But the top, like extra 1.5 foot grew this year. There was nothing up there. Now it goes all the way up top. Jen's gonna be happy. Looks like we definitely need another string for the bottom. All right, just got in, and the girls are watching some old school Christmas Carol thingamajiggies with Rudolph. Watching Rudolph, some real old fashioned one. Never seen this one, but it's nice and warm in here. 75 degrees in here. It's 39 outside. I've been outside for hours. It's cold out there. It feels good in here. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch a little Santa Claus, and then I think we're gonna watch The Thing. I haven't seen that in a while. It's one of my favorite movies. Jen's gonna be cooking stuff right now. Look at this. What is it? She made little apple pies. Definitely gonna have one of those. Oh, what's this thing? Cornbread? Got some cornbread over there. We having chili? Having chili tonight. Well, it's Sunday morning. Sunday morning, and I'm going to come out and replace all the batteries in my trail cams. I always use cheap batteries, and they do not last. But the winter's here. I bought better batteries because they really go through the batteries. It was a windy night here, and this stayed in perfectly. Did not come out or anything. I was thinking maybe if I get some more magnets and replace the washers with magnets, it'll have a stronger hold. I almost kind of like this, but I have that pink insulation at home, so I might just come and use that as well. But I do like just like this, you know. Rain won't get in because this is overlapped. It'll just come down. Might get in down here, but I don't think it will pull up on here. I might also cover this, give me some type of tarp, just cover up the granite, just in case, you know. When I bought it from a guy that was that's what he does for a living. He does countertops, and he said it's totally fine to leave outside. It is, you know, perfect for an outdoor kitchen, so should be fine. But I like to cover it. And we put out some bird feeders. Jennifer loves feeding the birds. I haven't seen many birds. One thing Pop says, there's no birds up here. We hear them. You hear birds all the time, but you never see them. But I put this up yesterday. Put down a little shepherd's hook up there, or actually a shepherd hook down here. There's a hook up there. Yeah, so we got 2 of them. I filled up the one I made last year. I'm gonna come take a look. So I got some chores this morning. One chore I'm doing is I gotta disconnect the plumbing. Because we're only part-time off gridders, it gets so cold under the cabin, the plumbing freezes, and then it backs up. This one I made about 2 years ago. See how it works here? Looks like something's been in it. It was filled up, and usually it'll hold, but some little critter, I don't know if you can see it, some little critter ate the bottom ledge out, so it pours out right there. But definitely something was in that, and there's a screw on the other side that you can stick up apple on. And Jen didn't bring any apples, but that's what that is for. I'll tell you what, these cards are a pain in the ass. I got a couple of these memory cards with the cameras, and they're cheap, and they don't want to read. When I put it in my computer, they won't read. I gotta play with them. I put them in the cameras, they don't want to read. I gotta mess with them. So mostly my cameras are for security. If someone came on the property, one of them hopefully will get a shot. And eventually, once I get my solar up, I'll have live video footage all the time. But first, I have to tackle the whole solar thing. And it is Cyber Monday tomorrow. I've been looking. Let's go take a look at this. I was told this is something the property owners previous of me put in because I wanted to get animals. It was a water source. I guess they collect the runoff. So I'm not sure what the heck that is. It goes in the ground maybe about 3 or 4 feet down. I think maybe next year if I got time, I'll drain it, clean it up, and maybe put a nice top on it so it's not collecting water and having a haven for mosquitoes nesting. I got one more camera, I think, or 2 more. Let me go change out those batteries. All right, that looks like about the end of this video, but I do want to answer a couple questions, PMs, emails. People contact me all different ways on this channel, and I appreciate everybody. I love the comments. Some of them are negative. If you have negative comments, keep them to yourself. I just delete them, ignore them, and whatever makes you feel good. If you want to put a negative comment, you know, whatever. But to answer some of the more common comments that I get is, you know, negative but not negative. I get a lot of, oh, it must be nice to be rich, you're living my dream, things of that nature. And I want to say, you know, you don't have to be rich to do this. You just got to be smart with your money. And you know, I don't know how to say it, but me and Jen aren't rich. We have always just been cautious and smart with our money. So as you can see, my truck is breaking down. I think I said this before. For those of you that do make a decent living and you're like, wow, I would love to have that cabin in the woods. Maybe you can't afford this much land in the area that you live, but maybe 1 acre of off-grid property or whatever costs the same amount as this one did. So maybe it'll be smaller, but you still could afford it. Then instead of going out and buying that brand new car or that brand new truck, instead of taking out a loan for $50,000, take out a land loan for like $15,000-$20,000, whatever you can. Grab that piece of property. That's step one. You know, it might take you 10 years to pay it off, but again, your truck in 10 years, you'll be down like $30,000 in value, and it'll probably have rust on it, and then you'll be trying to sell it on a marketplace for, you know, $17,000, $18,000 when you spent $50,000, $60,000 on this car. Or you could buy a piece of property, do what I did in the last 3 years, and make money if I want to sell it. The value definitely didn't go down. It has gone up. And that's what you got to do. I used to be just like a lot of you, just sit on the couch and watching everything and say, man, I would love to do that. And then we made a plan and we did it. But you have to have a job, a decent paying job. You know, not a crazy amount of job, but me and Jen done it together. I couldn't do it without her. But a lot of people just, you know, they make more money than me, and they're like, I can't do that. You can, and there's multiple ways of doing it. You could buy a piece of property and buy your cabin a pre-built, pay for someone to put it together for you. If you have more money than me, you could do that. But there's a lot of people that just like, you know, and I appreciate everyone watching my videos and commenting, but you can do this. You know, the biggest thing is fear, or just a lot of people are lazy. But like Master Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. But he's right about that, folks. You gotta do it, no matter what it is in life. You just do it. People have so many excuses for anything. Do it while you're young, because when you get older, you know, your body starts wearing out. I'm not gonna be able to build that cabin probably in 15 years from now. I try to maintain, but it's definitely backbreaking work. And you know, I'm sure I could do it, but I would need a lot of help. I'm already getting broken up over the years. But yeah, anything from your health, you got to maintain it. Got to maintain property. You got to maintain. So long story short, which I already went babbling for 4 minutes at the end of this video, folks, you can do it. I don't have to live your dream. You can live your own dream, but you got to put in. And don't get me wrong, I understand there are some people that it is impossible for there's different circumstances across YouTube. There's different circumstances for everybody. And some of you, I am living your dream. You'll never be able to accomplish this because you're 75 years old. You're set in your ways. You live in a condo, and you're not taking out a land loan on your Social Security to buy a piece of property. But you know, many of you in your 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, make those smart decisions. And if you can't financially do it because you're just up to debt like this, and I'm sure you got a million excuses why you're in debt. Once again, I don't want to judge, but most of you put yourself in that debt because you wanted something, wanted it now, and you got it. Then you're going to pay for it or whatever. Because I know tons of people like that, claiming bankruptcy because they, you know, at the age of 18 to 24, they just racked up those credit cards on a $30,000 a year job, and they owe, you know, $30,000 on 20 different credit cards, and they can't afford the minimum payments. Be smart with your money. Be smart with your finances. And like I said, Jen and I have been together now for 29 years come December 18th of this year. And we just always been smart with our money. And that's why we have the stuff we have. It's not because we're rich. And it's just that we are smart with our money. And you could do it too. Be smart with your money at a young age. And hopefully I won't have to work until I'm 75 years old. And even if I have to get a part-time job in the 60s, when I'm in my 60s or late 50s, then I can move up here and I'll be debt free. All I have to do is buy food and gas. And you know, because there's too many people working until they're freaking dead. So I don't plan on doing that. So let me put the time and work and effort in now, so when I get older I could do nothing and relax. But you don't know what tomorrow brings. Try not to live with regrets. Do the best you all can. I appreciate everyone for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up. And some of you might not like my advice, but this is just my opinion from where I come from and how I did it, and from my experiences, and from the many people I have talked to that always say, oh, I can't do that, oh, I can't do this. It doesn't matter what it is. you can do it. You just got to have a little confidence and drive and motivation. You can accomplish anything. And I live that lifestyle in almost absolutely everything. No, I'm never going to fly a spaceship and land on the moon, but if they said, you know, build a cabin in the woods, I could do it, and you can too. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. All right, God bless. Peace out.